Well, today we're going to figure out exactly why. We're going to deconstruct two real-world senior interviews to find the hidden playbook for landing that big leadership job.
Here's how we'll break it down. First, we'll talk about what makes these next-level interviews a whole different ballgame. Then we'll dive deep into two case studies, one with the beverage giant Diageo and another with manufacturer APL Apollo. After that, we'll find the common ground between them, and from there, we'll build a simple, actionable playbook that you can use to get ready.
All right, so you've got 5, maybe 7 years of really solid experience under your belt. You are ready to lead a team. But the interviews you're getting now, they feel like a completely different sport, right? The focus is shifted. It's not just about what you've done anymore. It's about something deeper.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's no longer just about listing your past accomplishments. It's about your process, your thinking, your whole approach to leadership. So to really get to the bottom of this, let's look at two very different interviews from someone who was right there in the trenches.
First up, we've got an interview with Diageo India. You know, the company behind huge brands like Johnny Walker and Smirnoff. The person who went through this described it as intense, long, and really wide-ranging.
That phrase right there, pure academics, is so telling. See, this wasn't just a tell me about a time when kind of interview. They were actually testing the foundational knowledge, the theory. And why would they do that? Because at a senior level, you're not just following the playbook. You're expected to understand why the playbook exists, to challenge it, and even to rewrite it. That's the higher bar. And man, did they get into the weeds. They did not want vague answers. They drilled down on key performance indicators, KPIs, the actual numbers that define success. They asked for specific figures on cost savings that you personally delivered. Not your team, you. They wanted to know the nitty-gritty of how you handle inventory checks and material controls. The theme here is crystal clear. Prove your individual, measurable impact. Okay, now let's move to our second case study with APL Apollo, a major steel pipe manufacturer. This one was less of a single intense sprint and more like a multi-stage marathon. It was a really comprehensive deep dive.
3 separate rounds, with the final boss being the company's chief financial officer. What does that tell you? It tells you this isn't just about whether your direct manager likes you. The company is making a huge investment in this role. They need to know you can speak the language of finance, of operations, of high-level strategy, because a senior leader has to be in sync with the entire business.
So APL Apollo also hammered on controls, but they expanded the view to the entire system. They wanted to walk through the entire procure-to-pay procedure. They wanted to understand the candidate's routine, day-to-day work, and, this is crucial, the current reporting lines and team structures. This interview was all about process, procedure, and people.
And hey, just so we're all on the same page, that P2P or procure-to-pay cycle is the whole shebang. It starts from the moment someone says, hey, we need to buy something, to creating the order, getting the stuff, and finally paying the bill. A senior-level candidate is expected to know this entire business-critical process inside, outside, and backwards. Oh, this question right here, this is pure gold. This is the moment the interview pivots from, what is your job, to who are you as a professional? When they ask about other things you're handling, they're testing your initiative. Are you someone who just stays in their lane and does what they're told? Or are you the person who sees a problem, even if it's not technically your job, and you step up to fix it? That's what they're willing to pay a senior salary for. Okay, let's take a breath. We have 2 different companies, 2 very distinct interview styles. One was all about performance metrics, the other was about process and structure. So what's the connection? What's the common thread that ties these 2 experiences together? It really boils down to this. There are 2 sides of the same coin. Think about it. Diageo was obsessed with the what. What were your results? What was your quantifiable impact on the bottom line? What did you achieve? APL Apollo, on the other hand, was laser-focused on the how. How do your systems work? How do you maintain control? How is your team structured to deliver results? To nail a senior role, you have to be the master of both. And here it is, the big aha moment. The core lesson is this. Senior-level interviews are not about hypotheticals. They are a deep, almost forensic examination of what you are doing right now. They dig deep into the specifics of your current role because they truly believe that your reality today is the single best predictor of your performance as a leader tomorrow. So now that we've deconstructed the why behind these tough interviews, let's get practical. Let's talk about the how. How can you take these insights and turn them into a concrete strategy for your own prep? This is your action plan. It really comes down to 3 key steps. Step 1, quantify your impact. Don't just say you made things better. Come armed with numbers, with data, just like they wanted at Diageo. Step 2, master your processes. You should be able to get up at a whiteboard and diagram the entire P2P cycle or your team's reporting structure, just like they probed for at APL Apollo. And finally, step 3, broaden your scope. Be ready to talk about those special projects, those extra things you took on that show you're already thinking and acting beyond your job description. And at the end of the day, that's really the ultimate question you have to ask yourself. Because landing that senior role isn't about checking off boxes on a list of requirements. It's about proving that you have the perspective, the process-driven mindset, and the performance record to handle not just the job they've written down, but all the unexpected challenges and opportunities that lie just beyond it. That's what they're truly looking for.